Yo, what is going on, Cinematics? It is the Ascending Films podcast. It crashed again, episode 2. I am half of your host, Alex Pinero.
And I'm the other half, Maximilian Bovin. What's going on, everybody?
Came in at the right time this time.
I know. I was ready. I was like, yeah, give it to me. I'm going to get it. That's my mark. That's my cue. And game time.
Give it to me, baby.
Clap it up for me.
Let's get a round of applause. He got it right. First episode, there was like a 10-second gap of empty space.
Yeah, that was like nerves or just me missing my cue and like realizing, oh, we started it? Now's the time? Cool.
Now?
Let's do this.
Now? It's all right. It translated just fine in the audio. It's like comedic punchline. It's like, oh, wait, it's me? You, me? Oh, like Night at the Roxbury? Like me, him? What? Me? Huh?
Who's doing this? Me? You?
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of our world-famous podcast, It Crashed Again.
Capítulo 2.
Número 2. We are just fresh off some serious, intense film planning for our production. We are planning our next work in the works.
Production.
I was trying to figure out another way to say it, but I was like...
No, our next film. Our next short film.
Our next production in production.
Sure.
In case you're listening to this sometime in the future, we are also promoting our film coming out this week, January 29th, in case maybe you're listening to 2026. It definitely came out 5 years ago. So yeah, we're going to promote that right now.
Man, that one was sitting on the shelf for such a long time, and I'm just happy that we, got all the resources together that we needed for it, and we just wrapped it up. It's such a great feeling to just get these projects done, especially when right now, if you're a freelance artist, you don't have a lot of work coming in. If you have stuff sitting on the shelf, now is the time to do it. I cannot emphasize that anymore. If you, like a lot of people, are going through a rough patch right now and you have a project that you haven't completed, I am telling you, what you want to do is prioritize that. Get your paper too, get that money, and then also make sure that you're taking care of these independent projects, because when we completed this, dude, how good did it feel?
It feels good, man.
The final cut.
It definitely feels like you accomplished something, because as filmmakers, if you are one, it feels to juggle a lot of different projects, and some of them are just in limbo. They either never get done or they just
sit in a notebook.
They sit in your hard drive. Mm-hmm. They're just like, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And, just a little bit of a backstory. We filmed Replica January 2020, and now we're releasing it January 2021. And a little bit of history. If you haven't lived it, it was a whole damn pandemic between this year and last year and this year.
You might have missed it.
In case you missed it,
or you're living in a fucking hut in the middle of the woods.
If you're living in a jungle somewhere, and you haven't really been involved in civilization, there's been a whole damn handy-pandy. There's been a handy-pandy in the whole world, and we're still going through it. So pat ourselves in the back. Another round of applause for us for completing that. Max did a great, excellent job editing it. And together we just kind of coordinated how the film is going to be, how we're going to be promoting it. And if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it on YouTube, on the Ascending Films YouTube page, Vimeo, or Facebook, and also Instagram. There's been some like haterade going on around Instagram for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, if you guys have your own Instagram page and you're trying to promote your own services or craft, please let us know if you ever run into a problem of people just reporting pages, because that
Instagram is hating on us right now.
Instagram
man.
is like not showing us any love right now.
I don't know.
And truth be told, that's not really slowing us down, but we are aware that in the future that could pose a little bit of a dilemma.
It's weird that when you go actually start doing shit, you always see like you actually do shit. Like when you're watching YouTube creators, right? You just see like them producing content, and you're just like, oh, I could shoot a film, I could shoot a video. But then when you actually do it, these little fucking things that's like, what do you mean we got like copyright striked? Like, what do you mean they want our money? Like, what are you talking about? So like,
wait, are you trying to tell me that I can't take somebody's soundtrack that somebody else put in time and sweat to? No. I can't make it mine?
Well, you can, but you just won't be making any money off it.
That's strange. That's not fair. I don't like that.
Yeah, so if you're thinking of putting Thriller in this next film, Michael Jackson will rise from the grave.
I don't know. That might sound like fun. He and I would have a really good really good time.
It'd be lit, man. He'd be like the next villain in Resident Evil, you know?
Who else is excited for Resident Evil 8? I know I am. I'm pumped.
Super pumped. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Instagram for Ascending Films, but hopefully it's up by the time. They just keep taking it down. I don't know why. If any of you have any idea, I mean, reach out to us at the Ascending Films Facebook page, please.
But you will be able to catch the premiere on either Alex's page or my page or Vimeo, YouTube.
We're still releasing it. We're still putting it out there. It's just minor setbacks. We're still gonna make shit happen. We're still fucking crunch time. We're crushing it. We're crushing it right now. We're flexing on all these hoes.
That's the crushing sound. That's like you put in that work.
Oh.
When you see those big roided out monsters.
Oh my God. Every time I'm in the gym, I'm doing like some like exercises, some squats, whatever. There's always some dude like deadlifting 500. And you just hear the bouncing of the weights on the floor. And everybody turns like, is that fucking Godzilla?
It's just so terrifying because I think when he does that, he's trying to mark his territory with his sweat. And everybody just kind of pushes off to the to the edge of the gym.
No, totally. Yeah, I was at the gym today and there was a guy like blasting music on his speaker. I was like, we're not on the subway. I don't understand. That's when they invented headphones. What are you doing?
That's literally why. No one wants to hear your shitty mixtape, dog.
Bitch, it's not Jones Beach. What are we doing right now? But anyway, yeah, so Catch Replica coming out January 29th, YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, Instagram. Check it out. It's just we're very proud of it, don't get us wrong, but it's just a minor amount of what we can do on a bigger scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're also given a new type of streaming method, a little bit of a shot this time.
Yeah.
Got the inspiration from watching Andrew Schultz videos, so many people are on their phones and I'm just like, you know what? Film festivals are not happening the same way that they've happened in the past as far as I'm aware.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of it is virtual.
It's all digital.
And people are so hooked on Instagram. I'm just like, well, why don't we see if we can somehow get the video to be in the Instagram TV format?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, I was so surprised that not a lot of people have tried this method before.
Yeah. If there's a way for us to get this shit on TikTok, I'll do it. Do the replica dance.
You could do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it.
There's a way for us to get it, but no. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, check it out. But now we have just come fresh off today, before recording this podcast, for prepping for our next film, which is coming out, Latinx Rebels. That's just a title. You don't get any more than that.
Yeah. Us working on Latinx Rebels made me get a little nostalgic with, the first project that you and I worked on. And I really wanted to tell everybody the story of how Bovin and Pinheiro met. Damn, I definitely butchered the shit out of your last name.
No, not really. It's Pinheiro.
Pinheiro.
But
see,
I mean,
let me take that back, guys. When Bovin and Pinheiro met.
You said piña?
No. You want some piña?
I'll be down.
Oh man, later. We'll get piña later.
So yeah, inspiration with Replica. It actually had first started with how we met, which was on Max's project Ascension. I was acting on it, he was directing and writing it, and then from there we kind of built a relationship, and we decided, you know what? Let's make a company. let's just make shit together. You know what I mean? Because we both like kind of separately spearhead projects, like, and just try to like do everything, with like one person. And I was like, why don't we just take like all the tentacles we have and just form like one octopus, metaphorically speaking.
It's creepy.
It's creepy.
It's so creepy.
I mean, but it makes sense though, because we all as filmmakers try to do, we direct, we edit, we write, we produce, we art direct, we location scout, we all this stuff. And it really makes a difference when you have somebody else there that knows what you're going through and can help out. And
mind you, the first time that I met Alex, I casted him to play the antagonist in my picture because I saw what he looked like, and I had him read for the protagonist because I wanted to see how people could just embody this one character. So I wanted to see how they could do with playing, different types of roles, because it would actually help in the long run working with actors that could changed the tone of their characters. It showed flexibility. Maybe flexibility is not the best choice of words, but it showed the variety in characters that they could play. And Alex pulls up. And I swear to God, Alex had to duck down through the door frame. And the door frame is like 6 feet tall. He ducks down and he comes in. And I'm like, oh, hi. You must be Alexander? Yeah, Max, nice to meet you. And he was just this hulking monster of a human being. I was very scared. I thought at one wrong move, and he can snap my neck like a chicken. And I just had to make sure that I didn't make fast, sudden movements.
Yeah, well, don't let Max fool you. He had his trademark pigeon chest out. his chest to the heavens.
Yeah, I don't think I took off like any layers that day because I was just so nervous. And I didn't get a haircut. I didn't shave. I was just a mangled mess of a furry creature because I was so layers deep into working on my thesis film, as most film students are.
Yeah.
Like you, for the next couple of months until the semester ends, are married to that project.
Yeah.
And I was married to that project, and I was so close to getting a divorce from that project.
I mean, yeah, the sign of a true filmmaker. You know, no haircut. You know, kind of smells like Axe body spray. A little bit of dandruff.
Old Spice, but you know, same. It's all the same thing.
It's all
It's all the same thing.
Same chemicals. You know what I mean? Different scents.
Yeah.
Just different age groups, different demographic.
Yeah, but you know, like when you came in, I knew like, all right, so he already has like this physical presence in front of the camera, and he can definitely hold the audience attention just by standing there. So we're off to a good start. But then he read for Miguel, and I was just like, man, you ain't the hero. No, it still sounds like you're gonna murder babies.
Oh no, don't say that. Oh my God.
Okay, it still sounds like you'll murder puppies instead of babies.
No, my God, stop. These cute, adorable things. I don't want to kill them.
And I already knew straight off the bat. I was like, he's gonna be the bad guy. He's gonna be the bad guy. I can tell. And yeah, like my casting process is a little different compared to most directors. What I'm looking for is, in the long run, for us to establish a good relationship. So I don't remember what the next thing was, but I remember it being, I called you up, and it was like, hey, congratulations, you got the position, this and that. And I wanted to set up a day for all of us to meet simultaneously. The idea came from when James Cameron did it when he was directing Aliens. He got everybody in 2 months before they started shooting. We're talking about the cast that played the Marines, and they all became buddies with each other. The first week, they spent time living in London, going to pubs, going to dinner. And then after that, I believe it was Al Matthews who played the sergeant, a Apone. He served in Vietnam, and he became in charge of running drills with them and turning them into Marines. So, you know, we weren't doing all that, having you guys like run through trenches and stuff and go on early morning jogs. No, I just wanted you all to pull up, have some food, have some pizza, and do some costume fittings.
But I do clearly remember when it was just like, all right, so you have like, you know, you have your workout regimen. I want all of you guys at night to do 100 push-ups.
Yeah, nobody did that at all.
I was like, who is this college student telling me to do push-ups at night?
I should have been doing those push-ups too, because I'd neglected going to the gym for the longest time. I'm like, maybe I'm just telling myself I need to do push-ups.
But the funniest shit was like, okay, so you had the main pilots for Ascension, and then, you know, you told them, it's like, because they had to do push-ups in the scene. Mm-hmm. Like in the initial scene, they're all doing push-ups and they have some dialogue or whatever, and then I come in and then they all like kind of go like gung-ho. But I remember specifically, it's like, all right, all you guys, I want you to do 100 push-ups a night, okay? And then you looked at me and you said, Alex, that doesn't mean you're left out. I want you to do them too.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
because you were playing the sergeant, or you were playing the drill sergeant, and the drill sergeant gonna have to do push-ups. But I'm like, nah, I want them to have the whole mindset that they're one unit. And then he looked at me like, you know, I don't really know you that well, so you can eat a dick. I ain't doing shit. And I was
I know
like,
you fed me and everything, but come on.
I fed you pizza also, which was like super counterproductive to the whole goal of getting the characters in shape. It's like, oh yeah, give them pizza because that's the nourishment they need.
Yeah. Yeah, that's every college student though. It's like just give them pizza and bagels.
What was funny?
Carbohydrates.
What was funny too is when we were doing the fittings, your costume fit perfectly fine.
Oh
Like
yeah, the
I,
general outfit. Yeah,
yeah, the general. Well, my buddy called it the dictator, the dictator, the Venezuelan
let's be
dictator,
positive.
or Captain Obvious.
Oh
Yeah, because it
It's
looked like
like,
Captain
is
Obvious.
that guy important? He's got all these badges and awards on his chest.
Your costume fit fine,
Yeah,
and then one of the actors, I'm not going to put them on the spot. One of the actors had a
bodysuit?
costume, had one of the diver
the
suits,
diver suit. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god.
and I was like, "Oh, that's a moose knuckle. Yeah, we got to get you a bigger costume."
Oh Jesus Christ! Automatic
like-
bump up in the maturity rating.
Yeah, no. It was it was like a gamble, and that was like the most that was a lesson for me. All right, these costumes, you got to get people's dimensions.
Yeah.
These heights, their
Specific
heights and
measurements.
dimensions. Yeah, the measurements.
We needed like an Italian suitor to like tailor these specifically to our sizes because we can't be having that.
Maybe I can pay him in pizza too next time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of racist, but you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is this?
Maybe that was a little racist
Oh,
too.
that was probably more racist. Like, can we just raise the bar of racism?
Yeah,
It's
no.
okay. I have Italian blood.
And I date an Italian woman.
There
so
we
it's
go.
great.
I mean, that makes it okay. I have a black friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when we completed Ascension, Max broke it up into 5 episodes you could view on YouTube. And once that was over, we kind of like wasn't sure where to go at that point. I mean, it was all still separate paths, but we still wanted to make content. We wanted to make films. Max's head perks up and says content. It's like, content. Ugh.
I'm not a content creator for the
that
record. I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I will not tolerate
He
the
sees
unquote
red.
content.
He just sees red. Tarantino red.
Everything just becomes blurred out, and the word content is just.
Just pure rage.
That's all I see. And it's just like rage. It's like I'm not a content creator. It's like Ray William Johnson when people used to call him a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck you mean I'm not a YouTuber? I'm a writer.
comedian.
I'm a comedian. Yeah. if you called him a
you're on
YouTuber, it'd be
YouTube.
like taboo.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of saying the N word.
Right. Well, because it's kind of like a negging label. It's like, oh, you're just some YouTuber, and you know people say it like that.
Yeah.
Just like when Scorsese was like, oh, Marvel's not making films, they're making
Yeah.
movies.
I had a talk with my brother about that a couple days ago, and we were talking about how Scorsese essentially just wrote off Marvel movies as popcorn entertainment. I think
You know what? Go ahead.
I understand where he's coming from in terms of, it's just movies to entertain. I understand his whole outlook on that. But, at the end of the day, movies are there to entertain and remove you from the stress of everyday life. When we're watching movies, it's to remove ourselves from the realm of reality and go into the realm of fantasy.
Yeah.
Pretend.
Totally.
Dress up. Pretend. Carefree. Doesn't matter what genre it is. And if you like it,
Art.
there's nothing wrong with that. Art can be anything. I guess it's all subjective, like comedy.
Yeah.
But to write it off like these aren't films, that's a bit harsh.
I think that the way that people, because humans are complex beings, so I think sometimes when people say things, it's taken out of context, and especially if you don't hear it out of the word of mouth, and it's just like a written article. It's like he said this, and everybody's like kind of, the more I think about it, the more I don't dismiss it because I love Marvel movies, but when you compare it to something like, say, Goodfellas or something like Kill Bill, where it's like it has these artistic, stylistic choices when in terms of like different shots, like this means something, this color means something, the way that they shot this and the music that they put in there, it doesn't really technically make sense, but it's pleasing to the
You get
ear
like
and
a
eye.
powerful, you get like an eruption of emotion out of that, and it hits you right. You're
Yeah.
like, that works.
Totally.
And that sticks with you.
Right, but it's not something that you would be like, you write it in a class, like you learn it in class, like this is how you make shit pop. You know what I mean? Like that's like the filmmaker's eye, the real like genius of it. And when I think of that, I think of films. And I think what he's saying, like Marvel movies, is like a movie, popcorn. I don't think it's disrespectful, but I think it's just like a whole different genre of movie making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't see it as like a negative thing. I think it's like kind of identifying them differently.
You know what I think?
What's up?
I think he's mad that he just can't get CG right. He can't get computer images right for his life.
I mean, he's old.
Yeah, but he also he was like middle aged. He was middle aged when he did Gangs of New York, and then there's that shitty shot of the CG elephant that runs across the street. And every single time I see that, I'm like, oh no, who the fuck reviewed this? Who the fuck reviewed this? Like, you're telling me that somebody was watching the movie in when did it come out? 2005 or 2004?
Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Somewhere around like the
2000s,
2000s, Backstreet Boy days, back in the day, Fox Kids day. That's a lot of days. You're telling me that somebody saw that clip and saw the elephant run and be like, yeah, that's good. Let's get it out there. I'm like, oh no, that's bad.
Well, I mean, you know, it's the same situation with the prequels, Star Wars prequels, when they did all the CGI characters like in the back, or when they had Jabba the Hutt like in New Hope. Yeah. You know, they had him slithering around. It's like, what the hell is that?
Oh yeah, you ever see it before the 2004
Yes.
special release? It's so bad.
Yeah, I know.
For even not late 90s CG, it's terrible.
The thing, but also the thing with directors like that, like Scorsese, he's good at one thing. You know, he's good at like telling a story, making it interesting, making it look great, and it's all about gangsters, characters, gangster shit, you know, all that. I can't see him making a movie about, you know, race, like Black Lives Matter. I can't see him making a movie about fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, he's good at that shit.
He should stick with his element.
Yeah, he's stuck with what he knows. Yeah. And, you know, some people just can't expand beyond what their realm of thinking is. But I don't think it was to be negative for me.
I want to see what Tarantino can do with fantasy.
God.
Or
I
horror.
would love that.
I want to see what he can do with horror, like supernatural horror. Because a lot of the time his films are inspired by like 1970s low budget films.
Yeah, a lot of spaghetti western.
A lot of western. Kung fu movies.
Yeah.
I unintentionally watched the movie that inspired Kill Bill. And I was watching it and I didn't realize, like, man, this is like oddly familiar. Where I've seen this before. About this woman whose husband and family's murdered, and she tracks down the gang that killed her family off.
What movie is that?
It's literally Snow Princess.
Oh,
I think it has like a Japanese name that more people recognize, but it translates essentially to Snow Princess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like Yuki something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see something like that. I think he has the potential to do it.
Oh, you look at the choreography with it, and the stunt choreography is really impressive for like 1978.
Yeah.
The movie was like ahead of its time, and then on top of that, the set design is beautiful. Like colors in it pop. There's something that will always have your eye fixated. I think that's something that young filmmakers, like independent filmmakers, tend to forget. Is like, remember, you gotta do something to have your picture stick out. Like, what is it gonna be? Is either gonna be the picture, the characters, the camera angles. I guess that would be picture. Or the dialogue. One of those things has to hit home.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is because we both studied classes in filmmaking. You know, we went to school for filmmaking, but then you have people, and the generation now, everybody has the opportunity to create films. On your phone, you have a 4K iPhone that can shoot beautiful, crisp, you know, clarity. But then when you shoot a video and it's a skit meaning that is the reason for it existence is a punchline, or you have like a back and forth or something like a sitcom like thing. But people don't really, the mainstream doesn't understand the symbolism or what this means, or what the low angle means, or what the juxtaposition means, the mise en scene, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. You know, I think that runs back to the films versus movies. You know, we get really in depth with that.
I know when we're doing our projects, at least there's a couple things that will stick out that will be like the prime focus for the film, like why it really is going to hit home.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's going to be the action or the visual effects.
Right.
But it's not going to be something that you've seen in a movie. It's going to like be a little blend of everything. Like I knew when I was doing my thesis, I'm going to do a stop motion action film that has some taste to it. And I'm going to do something that the school hasn't seen before. And then I told them, oh, I'm going to do stop motion. They were just like, get out of here. And I'm like, no, for real. Yeah. And my professor kept shooting this idea down. And I'm like, what, you don't have faith in me? And she's like, to be honest, I think you're going to be in over your head. I was like, oh, yeah? Okay, bet. And I told her, you give me to the end of spring break. Right now, we all go home. And I'm going to put something together by the end of spring break. And everybody was going down to Mexico. Like, everybody from my school was going down to Mexico or going to other vacation spots. And I was like, yeah, that seems like it's going to be fun, but I'm a junior going into senior year. I have to get something. I have to get something started with this.
The funny thing about Max is that he's the king of in over his head, but he actually gets the shit done, even if he breaks down while doing it.
And Alex to see me break down, I'm just like
we're creating this next film, and they're just like, all right, well, I don't know, this shot might be a little complicated. He's like, I'll do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I was like, dude, we have so many things. He's like, don't worry, I'll do it.
My response, I'll look at you and be like, I'll give you a Keanu Reeves response, like,
just see you like crawling onto set, just like broken and battered. It's like, it took 5 weeks, but I got it done.
Just tell me right now. You know it's going to be a lot to do. Tell me that right now.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so much.
Yeah.
We're going to get it done. Just like, this guy's like just crumbling.
We need tracking tape.
Yeah.
Lots of tracking tape.
Lots of tracking tape, a lot of green screen. We'll get it. We'll get it. No worries. We'll do it in post. It's our favorite line. We'll do
And
it
then
in
the
post.
computer crashes for like way too many times than it actually should have.
Inspiration for the name of the podcast crashed again. You know why we call it that? Because freaking every Adobe program just crashes like when it feels like it. You know, it's like that. Doing a callback to SpongeBob. You know when SpongeBob was like really lazy and he's just like, Mr. Krabs, I don't feel like it. Maybe later. That's what Adobe does every fucking time you try to use it. It's like,
What I don't get is they have thousands of people using the application, and you'd think that the first thing that they would fix is the
maybe
console.
tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of like.
But it's only I've only seen it in Adobe and After Effects, and in Premiere and After Effects.
Yeah.
I just started using Photoshop. I usually do a lot of my photo
Photoshop's
touch-ups.
never crashed for me.
Probably because it doesn't have so many engines running in it. Because you can do literally anything without plugins in After Effects. It's so surprising. Like I for our last project, you will not see it. I created smoke with particle simulation. It's so subtle. It's so subtle. You can be like, oh, wow, really? All that? It took like 30 minutes to do. And it's just like for 2 seconds of footage. But because like I now know that, now for the next project, I can do so much more with that.
Right.
That little even like, well, let me take it back a little bit. That's like when you say, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I can take that known knowledge, like that knowledge, and use it on a whole bunch of different projects in the future.
Right. Yeah. You've already implemented it. You've already applied it. So now it's a learned process. I mean, granted, you'll probably have to do it again a little bit, but you're more familiar with it now that you've actually used it.
Yeah.
You've used that knowledge. Because knowledge is power. So yeah, bringing it all back, Replica is coming out. Our next film, we'll just give you a little bit of a brief summary about it. So we're working on a project called Latinx Rebels. Replica was more of a sci-fi short film. We have Latinx Rebels as more of a grounded, family oriented comedy superpower film. Right?
Yeah.
So essentially still a little bit out there, in terms of like adding visual effects and things that are supernatural to the, human world. But we're grounding it in the sense of the characters. We're grounding it in the sense of the writing and the issues that they have in the world. So it's a post-pandemic world in which humans are kind of split in between people that are regular, like normal people, everyday people, and then those with supernatural abilities. If you think of like My Hero Academia.
I was going to say, you mean like quirks?
Yeah. It's like some people have quirks, some people are quirkless. You know what I mean? But in the sense of this, Latinx Rebels is about a family that centers around a group of people who are not necessarily family, but kind of grew up and live together, and they own a business, a commercial business in which they use their powers for other people. It's kind of like a for hire business, use this for that, and, lift construction or like, freeze this area for, I don't know, some type of purpose. I don't really sure, but
Ice cream.
ice cream.
I
Yeah.
thought of ice cream.
Oh yeah, that's a good
You
one.
could be like, if you're in if you're in the hood, you could just have your own ice cream business.
It's
Like
like,
in
hey,
Pimp
yo-
My Ride, they got
Hey
the
yo,
ridiculous.
player, you want some Haagen-Dazs, player? It's like, that'd be $5.99. Yo, you can make bank off that. Like homemade ice cream, you could just do it. But then you'd have to think of like, oh, how limited is that power? Like, how long can I use it before I run out of juice? But yeah, that's essentially what this next project is about, and I think it's more of a grand scheme, and I think it's going to speak to a lot of people in different cultures, and also because
It's got a lot of heart.
it's got a lot of heart. It's what's that movie? Oh my god, not Legally Blonde. What's that movie with Julie Roberts where she's like a prostitute? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you don't know? And he falls in love with her?
No.
You really don't know?
No.
Oh my god, I can't think of the damn. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. But yeah, that movie has a lot of heart. But yeah, I know. Like, in all honesty, the movie has a lot of heart, and we're playing a lot off the character dynamics and how they interact with each other in the film. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. You know, we literally just met up in order to create test shots for future ideas for this project, which we're filming in a month. So be on the lookout for that, because we want to really establish ourselves and keep the ball moving, keep the train running, as we create this next project for everyone, and circulate it once it's all said and done. Circulate it within film festivals and kind of bring ourselves and also the people that helped us on these projects. Just bring them along for the ride. It's just one big ride, baby. That's life.
Yeah.
We're just going on this roller coaster, and we hope that this one, or whatever one it may be in the future, will take us on a journey to outside of our production scheme bubble,
Circle. Yeah.
ability,
Neighborhood.
potential, limit.
Neighborhood. By the way, the movie is Pretty Women.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Not Pretty Woman.
I just looked it up. I just pulled it up.
Pretty Woman, yes. That's the movie I was talking about. Yeah, it's a good movie. She's a prostitute, and the guy like keeps hiring her, and he actually falls in love with her, and then he tries to change her. But it's a cute movie.
Yeah. Should I watch it?
It's old. Huh?
Should I watch it?
I would say, yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Will it open up my
Your third eye?
my third eye as an artist?
Yeah. I think so. The thing I love about Max is that he'll take like situations out of anything and learn a lesson from it.
I guess there's like a deep Chinese symbolism there.
Yeah. It's like he'll watch the movie.
Pull wisdom out of everything.
Yeah, it's like he'll watch the movie and it's like, that was so wholesome and full of heart. And you know what? Now I don't think prostitutes are bad people. You know what I took out of that is that they're actually really
Yeah, I didn't say that. Don't quote me on that.
just a joke, guys. Please don't cancel.
Oh no, let's. I think prostitutes are nice people.
Yeah,
Let's have somebody run with that sound bit.
that's part of create a soundboard. Just like that, put that drop. Prostitutes are nice people. Welcome to the Sending Films podcast.
I think prostitutes should be in school, Alex.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, legalize that shit. I don't care. But yeah, that's what we have coming up. And I hope you guys are joining us for the ride. You ride along with us on this, as we keep releasing more and more art. As we drop these gems. I hate that word. I hate gems. Drop these diamonds. Okay.
Isn't that like the same thing?
Yeah, but it's more specific. Like, what is a gem? You know what I mean? It could be anything.
Like the diamond in the rough.
A diamond in the rough.
Diamond. Nope. Not happening. Wait. Can I get a second take?
Yeah.
The diamond in the rough.
You sound like Batman.
Well, hey, at least I sound like somebody.
Where are they? Where are the diamonds? Where is she?
Hand it up my ass.
Oh, what? Anyway, look out for Replica coming out January 29th. Look out for our future project, Latinx Rebels. We also have a GoFundMe. If you guys want to support our project, go to GoFundMe.com, type in Latinx Rebels, and you'll find us out there. We'll take any support we can, whether it be financially, whether it be a share, a like, follow us, Ascending Films on all social medias. And yeah, just, shout us out. Check out what we got, man. We got some good ideas, We're out here. We're thriving.
We're thriving in these tough times.
Yeah, we're good in the hood.
Yeah, we're good in the hood.
We're good in the hood. But thank you guys for tuning in. Love y'all. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm at AP Suave on all social medias.
And I am at Max G Bovin.
But that'll be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye, Cinephiles.
Peace.